Excuse me. What in the world are you thinking?
Mean Gene, the first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say.
What up, y'all? It's KMB, the Sexy Ninja, in the place to be for a Paper Saber universe. And this is the New World Podcast, brother, where we show our love and appreciation for this sport called professional wrestling. If you're new, welcome. Welcome to the podcast. I like to break down these shows, and I've got a lot of great feedback. I have a Pro Wrestling Tees store, prowrestlingtees.com/New World Podcast. Get yourself the sweet logo created by Penta X. He's got some great music. He's got an EP that he's working on. I cannot wait for everyone to hear it. Now let's just get down and dirty. We're going to get raw. June 19th, 2023. Corey Graves, Kevin Patrick. We're in Cleveland, Ohio. And we start the show with Seth Rollins, but kind of, because Finn Balor attacks. After the crowd from last week not letting him speak, he took it into his own hands to get at Seth and whoop that ass. Got him 3 times on the outside of the ring. And then got him backstage again. Like, this is the Finn Balor I've been waiting for. Even Seth mentioned that, too. This is the Finn Balor that's done playing. 7 years in the making. You took everything away from Finn Balor. This is a long-term story that I'm really excited to see unfold at Money in the Bank. So, after all this, Seth is cleared still to do NXT Gold Rush this week and face Braun Breaker. And Braun Breaker was on the show tonight, so we'll get to that. But I really like this opening segment. I really like the fact that Finn Balor's sending a message across the board to the WWE Universe like, hey, I need to be taken seriously, and you can go and sing his song all you want. Then after the attack backstage, we cut to Kevin and Corey. Then The Miz is in the ring. He was going to answer Seth Rollins' open challenge, the one he said he was going to do for Monday Night Raw. That's why Seth started the show. But The Miz issued his own open challenge. And guess who answered? Tommaso Ciampa is back. I'm excited. Johnny Gargano's not too far away either. There's been talks of putting together the DIY team again in the main roster, and I'm like, let's do it. Let's let Ciampa and Gargano, like Johnny Gargano, just get together and just do it the DIY style. Ciampa for the win. It was an okay match. This Raw was. Overall, it was okay. There was nothing that was like, oh my God. There was nothing. It was an okay, good show for what it was. And I was reading some stuff on Twitter, and everyone's like, oh my God, because I'm watching it live, and I like going on Twitter. But there's these things like, is Miss Vince McMahon in backstage? Is he handling this? Because there was some, like I said, the show was meh at best. But we had the Judgment Day promo. Finn's like, look what I did. Look what I did to your boy. You can sing your stupid songs all you want. Damien's going to take the Money in the Bank. I'm going to win gold. And Dominic's going to beat up Cody Rhodes and stuff like that. So the only person who does not have a match at Money in the Bank so far is Rhea Ripley. But that's okay. Mommy doesn't need a match. Mommy is mommy. Bloodline package from last week. My wife didn't get to watch last week, so I let her watch the package, and she was like, oh no, they're kicking Jimmy out? I was like, just wait. And then when he's like, I'm out, and I'm out too, bam, super kick, and we looked at Paul Heyman's face, he's like, oh my God! And she was just like, that was awesome. I was like, I know, right? I go, just imagine my fat ass laying in bed, having my phone, like, right here, and I'm like, oh, my God! My daughter's like, what's wrong? You having a heart attack, fat ass? And I'm like, what? And I was like, no. He was like, Jay did it. She's like, oh, okay. The wrestling thing? Okay, daddy. Byron Saxton's backstage with Sammy and Kevin Owens. Sammy calls out Kevin on his rage. I've told you this has been short fuse Kevin for the past few weeks. No, past month. And I love it. You know, and he calls him a rageaholic, and Kevin gets mad about it. He tells him no more outbursts. He needs to keep his anger in check. So that's kind of the thread in the show. But it was more or less comedy from it than anything. But Kevin has been like barking at everybody when he can. We had Sonya Deville, Chelsea Green versus Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. Another okay match. Kaden Carter and Katana Chance for the win. I don't know. I'm waiting to start building this women's tag team division, and I want Sonya and Chelsea to be more of a threat, not jobbing out to the new upcomers from NXT. I feel like they should have won this match, in my opinion. I know we got to build these two because they're the next they're the next wave of superstars. So hopefully soon, once the titles get united at SmackDown this Friday, we can definitely start rebuilding this division and start making it matter on a bunch of different levels. Like, I'm already invested into this women's tag team division, but they've been like on and off. And I'm hoping after we unify the NXT women's tag team championships and the main women's tag team championships, we do something awesome, you know. Kathy Kelly's backstage. She interviews Cody Rhodes because during the Judgment Day promo, Dominic, he could not get a word in, but he issued a challenge of a 6-man tag team match. Cody can go find his partners, you know, but the Judgment Day will be there, and Cody's like, I accept. That was it. That's all. And he came out, did his whoa, you know, and yeah, I accept. All right, now back to the back. Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander versus Indus Sher. Indus Sher for the win with Jinder Mahal. I don't know, man. When can we get the Hurt Business back? Remember that was rumored for a while? Like, oh, baby, we're getting the Hurt Business back. Then nothing. These two deserve better than this. And Indus Sher, I just don't care, man. You're just two big brawling brutes. Like, Sammy and Kevin Owens backstage. Someone spills water on him, and he gets a little angry, but he holds it back, you know. And then they meet up with Matt Riddle, and Matt Riddle was like, was talking and getting on Kevin's nerves, and he's like, all right, we need to go Kevin level, you know. But Logan Paul, here's the meats. Here, you know what? I take that back. This was the meats and potatoes of this show, really. But I already kind of felt it was going to happen with Logan Paul showing up. And I was like, I feel deep down he's just going to enter himself into the Money in the Bank because it's Logan Paul. You know, a huge star on his own without WWE. He's going to put himself in the Money in the Bank. And I was listening to one of his podcasts, and he has talked about he loves doing professional wrestling. Like, he's like, I want to get back in that ring. I can see the love he has for this business. And now that he's going to be in the Money in the Bank match, Ricochet interrupts. Then Shinsuke Nakamura interrupts. LA Knight comes out. Santos Escobar comes out. Butch comes out. Butch, I love Butch. Butch didn't give a fuck. He came out and he just started smashing. And I got to say, that pop for LA Knight was huge. That he's going to win the Money in the Bank. I feel it deep down. We are saying we want LA Knight because that crowd popped hard. Up next, we had Matt Riddle. I don't know, tell me what your thoughts about Logan Paul being in the Money in the Bank. I know we're going to get some crazy shit. We're going to get some crazy spots. And I want to see another crazy spot with Ricochet. So tell me what you think of that. Matt Riddle versus Ludwig Kaiser with Gunther. Matt Riddle got the win, but Gunther attacks. He takes out his leg. And I'm waiting for them to announce Matt Riddle versus Gunther at Money in the Bank for the Intercontinental Championship. I think that'll be a great match. And hopefully maybe Matt wins it. I think Matt Riddle's due, but I do like Gunther, so it's kind of like, I want the match, but I want Riddle to win, you know. Then we had Riddle backstage. He's being, walked out because of his leg. Then Kevin and Sammy are backstage, and Imperium interrupts them, and Kevin gets all pissed off. He's like, why? You're breaking the rule. We didn't talk about you. Alpha Academy with Maxine versus the Viking Raiders with Valhalla. They showed a quick backstage thing with Chad training Maxine, showing her some moves. And I really like this. I like this pairing. I don't like the fact the Viking Raiders won, even though I've been bitching about, what are they doing again? What are they doing again? Man, you built them up, man. But I was like, man, I feel like because you've already done so many, like, rehash of the Viking Raiders, then adding Valhalla and this and that, I think it's time for the Alpha Academy to get back on top. Because I really do like them. Otis is my spirit animal, Otis is the shit, and I love that Maxine's part of this group. But the Viking Raiders for the win. Judgment Day backstage. Rhea's like, hey, I got my business to take care of. We're going to do it. We were supposed to have Rhea Ripley versus Natalya, but Rhea didn't let that happen. She just dominated Natalya. Natalya's been on this real funk lately. She's been unhappy, Natalya, trying to prove to herself that she can be the best she can be because she got dominated by Rhea Ripley at Night of Champions in a quick, short match. So I don't think this helped her confidence level because the match didn't even begin. The match did not even begin at all. And then she had this really sweet promo in the start. In the starting, and came out and then got her ass whooped. Rhea's like, yeah, biatch. All right, now this one here, the Money in the Bank qualifying match, Raquel Rodriguez versus Trish Stratus, and Trish Stratus is in the Money in the Bank, but in a way that I was like, I don't know how she can beat Raquel. Raquel Rodriguez is a beast. There's a great spot where Raquel's like flipping around like a rag doll, but Becky came out. She is attacking Zoe Stark. Then Trish tried to get Becky. Then Becky hits Trish. The bell rings, and I was like, oh, this is a DQ? Oh, Trish is going in the Money in the Bank? Okay, I guess Trish will be in this, and there was a really great backstage interview with Becky that I really liked when she's like, yeah, I fucked up, he's like, yeah, I fucked up, so, I got Bayley in Damage Control. Bayley's putting up her spot, though, I believe on SmackDown this Friday, so we shall see what happens there. But let's see, where's my notes here? Cody backstage, he calls Sammy and Kevin, asked them to be partners for the big main event tonight. That was a fun thing with the Imperium earlier, where they're like, hey, we gotta go. And then Tozawa comes out of nowhere before they get there, and Tozawa's like, I will be your... Cody's like, oh, okay, cool, Then Kevin comes with Sammy, and then he's like, Tozawa just asked, and Kevin's like, no, I want to... What do you mean? No, he's like, no. You're still going to be my partner. And he's like, oh, good. He's like, but I can hit someone? I can smash faces? He's like, yeah. Let that rage out, boy. Braun Breaker, backstage interview, says he hopes that Seth freaking Rollins shows up at NXT Gold Rush this week. He's a working champion, so despite being hurt and got his ass kicked by Finn Balor, he better see him there. So I wonder if we're going to get Balor showing up at NXT Gold Rush. Because, this is a big championship match. Braun Breaker versus Seth freaking Rollins. I'm there. Payback, September 2nd, confirmed. What else we got here? Oh, and I was waiting to give the proper introduction because we had Shinsuke Nakamura versus Bronson Reed. I don't know what we're doing here with this story. I Ricochet, Bronson Reed, Ricochet, Shinsuke, Ricochet. Like, I don't understand, like, this third wheel type of, like, rivalry to beat Bronson Reed, because Ricochet comes out, which I knew he was going to do, then cost Shinsuke the match. Bronson Reed got the tsunami on poor Shinsuke. And, you know, I'm just like, I don't get it. We had this last week. We're having it this week. He's not even in the Money in the Bank, like, ladder match. Like, I don't know what we're doing here with this. Like, it's just one of those things I'm just like, cool to give Bronson Reed something to do, but I would rather we build a rivalry between Ricochet and Shinsuke building up to the Money in the Bank, you know. Judgment Day backstage are getting ready. Seth Rollins backstage promo. He says, hey, I don't care what these doctors have to say. I am going to face Braun Breaker at Gold Rush, you know, and he's going to show up. He said, hey, I will be there. Now in the main event. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Cody Rhodes versus the Judgment Day. This was a fun match. Of course, KO, Sami, Cody for the win. And I just got to say, too, man, it's funny when Dom starts getting his ass kicked, and that crowd's like, yeah! And then I think they did a whole, like, Dom is a bitch chant at some point, because there were some blanks here and there. But overall, it was a fun Raw, but nothing too crazy. Logan Paul was kind of predictable. I was like, he has to enter himself into the Money in the Bank. It's inevitable. It's Logan Paul, you know, with his prime and everything like that. So, Ricochet got some good shots at him, though. LA Knight got some good shots at him, man. He's like, hey, I got this paper here, you know. But LA Knight is the guy that I'm rooting for, and it took me a while to finally get LA Knight, like, to understand the character and really just be like, yeah, you know. And it comes down to, like, I remember when me and Penta were talking, I was like, yeah, I really don't care for LA Knight. But as I've been seeing him grow and seeing the crowd be like, yo, I'm like, yeah, I see it now. I see why we like L.A. Knight, and I'm pulling for him in that Money in the Bank, and I'm pulling for Io Sky to win the Money in the Bank as well, so we can get Asuka and Io for the championship. We got another big week. Collision basically kicked off the week for me, because I usually watch, and then I do the day job, and then I come home and I watch the show, then the next day drop the podcast. So and if you're new and you just sat through all of this with me, thank you. I appreciate it. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, comment below. Let's talk some pro wrestling here. It's a daily show. And I got a question before I close out this podcast. I got a question of, like, why do I not do a super show a week or talk about everything that's going on in, like, just professional wrestling in general, like a one-stop pit stop, you know? Here it is. The reason why I break down every single show and have it there, because I have people who follow me who just watch WWE. I have people who just watch AEW. I have really no one that watches Ring of Honor. But I do Ring of Honor because I love Ring of Honor. So, and, you know, there's some people that I listen to, like, I was like, did you hear the WWE one? Like, I don't fuck with WWE. I'll listen to the AEW ones all day. Or I don't fuck with AEW. I'll listen to the WWE ones all day, you know. And I like breaking down the show. I know I have listeners out there that say they're not even really watching. They're keeping up with what's going on. And I have a few out there that are like, yo, I love listening to the podcast because it's you drop one almost every day. I'm very interactive on social media, so if you want to come chill with me, Twitter at KMB the Sexy Ninja, get our Twitter on, or Instagram, TikTok, whatever. You know, I like to share clips and shorts of just wrestling history as it is, or things that are breaking with, you know. So I'm constantly interacting with everybody. I'm getting questions, and another question I got asked is when you're gonna fucking do the Q&A podcast of nWp. That's coming. I already have like a few questions lined up that a few people sent me. And especially in my inner circle and just some people that DM me and stuff like that. If you want to drop a DM and drop a question in there, or if you want to send a question in general, you can send it to the email. But the email is still cplusstudios928@gmail.com. You can't change a name on an email, but that's fine. But thank you everybody that's listening. Thank you for everybody that's subscribing. Thank you to the awesome people who are getting the New World Podcast shirts from my Pro Wrestling Tees store. It means the world to me, and it makes me feel like, damn, I am adding something to this world, and it feels good. And I get great feedback, and I also get a little hate. It's fine, in this game of podcasting and everything like that, you're going to get some hate, man. And, I'll take the heat. Love me or hate me, let's just keep rocking and let's keep talking pro wrestling. That's it. That's all. Like and subscribe. Share with your grandma. Share with your grandpa. Share with the bum down at Walmart. I am KMB, the Sexy Ninja, and as always, the New World Podcast is for life, brother.
Of your choosing, Money in the Bank could go viral.